The rematch between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois may be pushed back to February sooner than expected after Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn said the second fight was quickly moved. Dubois will rematch in February if rematch doesn't happen. The rematch between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois, scheduled for February, may not happen. Dubois, the IBF heavyweight champion, knocked out Joshua at Wembley Stadium in September. It was an overwhelming defeat, but a potential revenge match in February was presented as an option for AJ. "I have this in the blink of an eye," Frank Warren, promoter of Dubois, told Sky Sports. "He has it if he wants it." But Warren doubts Joshua's team would ultimately agree, adding, "Who would they advise to fight?" Warren is adamant that Dubois vs AJ2 can only happen in early 2025. "He's the champion and it would be on his terms," he said. "Daniel will defend his title in February, and if it's not Joshua, it will be against someone ranked in the top 5. February is the time for this fight, as Dubois could be looking at an undisputed world title fight later this year, especially if he faces former winner Oleksandr Usyk. What a revenge that would be," Warren said. "He wants it." But Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn said that although AJ wants the rematch, it may not be ready until February. "The only concern at the moment is the weather," Hearn told Sky Sports. "He has some minor illnesses and after the tests he will be out for 4 or 5 weeks. If I want to face him in February, I need to start training camp in about 3 weeks. This is a pretty fast development." Hearn continued, "Ideally I'd like to be back around May, but it feels like it's happening pretty quickly. From the viewpoint of the body, you can probably have a little bigger time. But they have to decide if he's ready. Joshua told me emphatically, I want the rematch. But it's just a matter of whether he'll be ready by February, and that's something they have to decide. We can't rule it out, but we appreciate the quick response." Should the Dubois vs Joshua rematch take place by April for Dubois, who had been promoted from interim to world champion prior to the bout against Joshua was effectively a mandatory title defense. Under IBF rules, Dubois will be given a 9-month voluntary title defense, opening the door for a rematch with Joshua. In 9 months, Dubois is scheduled to defend his mandatory title, which will most likely take place against the winner of the IBF final elimination, Martin Bacol, with Ajit Cabale. Dubois will be notified around April 22 of his mandatory fight on June 21. IBF rules state that a champion must defend his championship title against a significant heavyweight contender designated by the championship chairman at intervals not exceeding 9 months. But the IBF said Dubois would be eligible to fight in a unification bout after that date. The only unification bout available to Dubois would be against the winner of a rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury for a shot at the undisputed heavyweight title. Usyk will face Fury in Saudi Arabia on December 21 for the WBC, WBO, and WBA belts.